So I already put this 14E aloe nourish foundation on my cheeks, just with my fingers. I use my fingers on both sides. So now I want to try with the brush to see what kind of coverage. So I've put this much. I just want to see what coverage I'm getting with the brush, because with the fingers I didn't get any coverage at all. Like, it's just looking like a tinted moisturizer. So we'll see what happens with this. And the color is Sand 02, which is good for winter, but not for, I mean, in summer it's going to be a bit too light, but if it doesn't have much coverage then it might work. So I'm in front of the window as usual, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And this is an elf brush. I don't know, it kind of it's missing the, you see here, the writing on the handle is missing because it's very old brush, but I like the shape of it. It's really quite thick, and I like it for foundation. I haven't used it in ages, but I used to use it all the time. So I don't know, this foundation claims to be like a soft matte medium to full coverage, but I just don't see that. Can you? I mean, it just has a sheer to light coverage, in my opinion, because to me medium to full coverage is just like covering up all this redness that I've got. But you know, I've put it earlier on just with my fingers, it didn't work, so let's try and do the brush application on here, see what happens. Maybe you have to layer it. This is where my trouble, most of the trouble area is, my cheeks, because I've got a lot of redness and hyperpigmentation there. It has covered a little bit more with the brush, but you know, with the first layer you just don't get anything, any coverage. It's very sheer with the first layer. So this is two layers, one with the finger and one with the brush. Oops, heck. I've basically put it all over my trousers. Great, now they're gonna be stained with foundation. So I don't know if you can see here, you know, where I've got all my redness, you know, on my cheeks. It looks a bit like streaky and patchy. Hopefully you can see. So to me it looks like streaky and patchy in that spot. At least in my, you know, when I'm looking in my mirror here. I don't know. And then it claims to be matte or semi-matte, but it's not that matte. I wouldn't say matte. I mean, my definition of matte is, you know, is really matte. It's not like, this is dewy. In my, it's like a satin dewy finish. You know, look at my forehead as well. Does it look matte? No, it doesn't really. It doesn't look matte at all to me. I know I'm in front of a window, so yeah, it is anyhow, a bit more shiny. That's you know, that's to be expected, because obviously with the light coming from outside, it does reflect on my forehead, but it's it's, you know, I wouldn't call this matte. No, not at all. And I wouldn't call this medium to full coverage. It's not medium at all. I would say light coverage at best. So what's your experience been with this foundation if you've tried it? I know they've got this 14E, they've got a sheer tint as well, so it's still aloe based ingredients, so it's very similar, same packaging as well as this one I've seen, but it's a sheer tint, and this is the foundation, so this is supposed to have more coverage than the sheer tint, and this looks to me like a sheer tint, not a foundation. I wouldn't call it a foundation. It's more like a tint or tinted moisturizer. But anyway, if you know, if you manage to get more coverage out of this foundation, let me see how you do it. I'll try as well with the beauty blender or a beauty sponge as well and see what happens. So let's try with the sponge now. So I'll put a bit of foundation here on my chin because I've got some redness here. Maybe I've put a bit too much, but we'll try and cover it, hopefully. So I've got this one, which is not dirty, even though it's like just stained here in the middle, but not just in the middle, but at the moment I don't have another one. And this is a dry sponge, just because I want the matte finish. I don't want dewy, so I don't want to wet the sponge, otherwise I'm gonna get a dewy finish, which I don't really want. I mean, I bought this foundation for summer to have a matte finish, not a dewy finish. I don't like dewy in summer because I am sweating a lot in summer. It's hot, I'm sweaty, I'm oily already by myself. I don't need any help in the shine department, to be honest. So all I'm trying to do is mattifying as much as I can. And this is not mattifying at all. So obviously a little bit gets absorbed into the dry sponge, so maybe if you wet the sponge, this problem will not happen. But I feel like I'm wasting a lot of product. Already I've used a lot and it's really expensive, this foundation. I think it's like over 40 euros. I've ordered it from Green Jungle shop. And I think it's a Canadian, they're based in Canada. But they have the European website, so I've ordered off there. So this is kind of the coverage that I'm getting, which is not much more that I started with. I mean, I started already with the Reggie. I'm just looking in my mirror on the right, you know, on this side I've got the mirror here. So yeah, as you can see, covered a little bit, but not too much, but maybe a bit more with the sponge than with the brush or fingers, to be honest. But it didn't really mattify that much, maybe a little bit more matte than with fingers or brush, but not by much. So this is the sponge on my chin, finger and brush, brush. And as you can see, you know where I've put my finger, I said brush here, I put my finger here and then it's kind of a bit on my, you know, it's lifted off. So it's kind of got a little spot here where I've put my finger. So it's definitely not a transfer-free, you know, from foundation, unless maybe if you powder it, yes, it probably will stay on much better, but yeah, as it is, not really. Also, sorry, something else I've just noticed by looking my face much with a bit more attention in my mirror is that it seems to be sitting on top this foundation rather than melting into my skin. So that's another thing. So as probably you can tell that I really don't like this foundation. It's already late in the day because I've just received the delivery very late in the day. So I've received it like an hour ago, more or less. So I won't be able to do a full day wear test today, but I just wanted to show you, you know, how this foundation wore. And maybe I'll just ping a comment, you know, in the box in the comment section below to let you know how this foundation is doing after a few hours. But I don't think it's going to last all day unless you powder it really well. Not on my skin at least, because you know, on my skin everything seems to be moving anyway if I don't powder it. So this foundation is probably gonna do the same thing. It's also, you know, so it's only been like about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes since I applied it, and it's already settled in my big line here, you know, in this wrinkle. I can see it in my mirror here, but hopefully you can see it. But yeah, that's to be expected because this wrinkle is really massive. It's deep. It's like the Grand Canyon, so it is what it is. Hello everyone, and don't mind my crazy hair. It's just sticking up. I don't know why, but it's one of those bad hair days. Anyway, today I've tried the 14E foundation. You know, this one here. I mix it with the 100% pure all over glow. So I've ordered these two products both from greenjungleshop.com, I think it is. And I've tried this just, I wanted to have a different feel for this foundation because yesterday, as you could tell, it didn't really work well by itself, this foundation. So I thought I'd mix it with something else, and you know, I really like this product even by itself. This is just a all over glow, like similar to the Charlotte Tilbury really famous flawless filter, whatever it's called. I've never had that one because it's got, you know, not great ingredients. So but this I think is quite similar, so I can't speak because I've never tried the Charlotte Tilbury one, but this is really nice. So you can wear this by itself, you know, for summer is really good. It just adds a bit of glow to the skin, and this is like in the color lightly sun-kissed, so it's the lightest shade. I've only got 2 shades by, you know, 100% pure in this product. But yeah, but this one suits me quite well. I'm only gonna use this in summer anyway, obviously, because in winter we're all covered up with clothes, so what's the point? But yeah, I'm gonna take this on holiday with me and use it to just get a bit of a glow, shimmer. Why not? And here you get 40 ml, by the way, in this bottle. It's a glass bottle with a nice pump as well. So let me know if you want a review of this one, but let's talk about this foundation. I mean, you can see today by mixing the two, I've got a bit of powder and I've used the Hey Gorgeous pressed face powder. And so this is how it's looking, the foundation. It's looking better than yesterday. I didn't put anything else, as in I don't have concealer. I've just got the, you know, this foundation mixed with the 100% all over glow, and then I've got a bit of blush and yeah, and that face powder that I've used to set my makeup. So this is how it's looking. And it's been around, I think I would want to say around 10 hours right now that I've had this on. So, you know, it's not looking bad. It's maybe gone off a bit my nose. Didn't start with much coverage, so the coverage is very sheer, as I said yesterday when I was using this foundation by itself. But yeah, it didn't settle in the fine lines like yesterday. So as you can see, you know, this is the biggest line I've got for now. Obviously with age, there will come a lot more wrinkles because I'm not gonna have any work done on my face. I'm not I've never had Botox, I've never done anything. So yeah, this is what the the wrinkle is looking like. It doesn't seem to have any product in there, gathering in there, so that's pretty good. Sorry about my horrible lips, but I've got really dry lips. Even though the weather has been a bit warmer, but my lips are just they've always been crap anyway. So yeah, this is how it's looking. So obviously, you know, this foundation by itself, it didn't really work on me yesterday, and you know, I just what did I have? My SPF, normal SPF, and yeah, that was it. So it didn't really look great. Today is working much better than yesterday because I've mixed it with that all over glow. But so this is something that I'm gonna bring on holiday, you know, this foundation. That I'm gonna do this combination when I'm on holiday. Yeah, it's kind of the shade as well is a bit too light for me. It's Sun 02. But there aren't that many shades, and I think the one called Macadamia, which is the next shade up, I think is 2.5. It looked a bit too red undertoned for me, so I wasn't too keen on that because I don't really like red undertone, because my neck is not really red. Although in this light I might look red, but in the daylight I look neutral with a pale yellow undertone, so I don't want any red undertone in my foundation. So yeah, I think for me this product by itself doesn't work. So unfortunately, you know, it's a pass. I won't be buying this again. Although it's got great ingredients, yeah, but I was expecting more coverage, more of a mattifying effect. So it didn't really deliver on the claims. This one, I think it lasts 12 months if you're interested, and made in the US as well. And I guess it's vegan and cruelty free, biodegradable or biodegradable. Very hard to read here because it's very tiny print. I'm starting to, you know, my eyes are not as good as they used to be. So this is all I've got for you. Unfortunately, it was a no from me on this foundation. It might be, you know, it might have worked out really well for you. So if it has, please let us know, you know, what kind of skin type you have. You know, do you have oily skin? Do you have dry skin? Normal skin? And also, how do you use it? Like, and what kind of coverage do you get? Let us know, please. I would be very curious to learn from you, you know, if it's worked or not. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.